Hello and welcome fellow subscribers and other racing fans. With this video I want to give you an update to my previous patch 7.0 video, which was mainly about the tire camber, and this one here will be more about the tire Temps. So first thing is that I can now confirm that the camber exploit fix actually changed the way how everyone is setting up their car and driving their car. As far as I know, nobody is using zero camber anymore, so we have some more realistic handling, some more realistic setups out there, which is, I have to say, a really nice change. However, you might have heard from all the discussions and the controversy about the tire temperatures in patch 6, where the devs introduced a new heating model for the tires. With patch 6 we got much hotter, much warmer tires, and everybody was enraged about that. People were saying they broke the game and nothing's working anymore, only overheating. And I have to admit, I also made a post in the Project Cars forum that I think the tire temperatures are now too hot. However, I only tested them in extreme situations, meaning soft tires in Brno, for example, or in Catalonia, Barcelona, and I still think those tires were too hot there, as you could take the hard tires as well as the medium tires as well as the softs. All would overheat extremely and cause you a huge decrease in grip. However, on all other tracks, or on most other tracks, the tires are working just fine. One thing you need to keep in mind was to make the tires more realistic. I mean, one goal of the patch was to make the tires more realistic, and therefore they should overheat more when not handled correctly. So after much discussions and many practice sessions, I have to say, with slight adjustments to your own driving style and to your own handling of the car, the tire temps were totally fine. And I stand for that. With my configuration of my PC, with my steering wheel, it was fine. However, the discussions didn't stop. No, when the console players, PS4 and Xbox One, got the patch 6, they got really mad because they said they couldn't drive anymore. And to some extent everybody maybe accepted this, because with driving with gamepads it can be a whole other story, especially when it's important to minimize your steering and throttle inputs. Also, we don't really know if consoles are working exactly the same as the PC does physics. There are some CPU related differences. Of course you also have them on the PC, but it might be special in any way. So, what the devs did was to revert the tire temperatures to the pre 6.0 patch with the patch 7. The consequence of that is, of course, a much colder tire now. And it actually feels that it's colder than pre-patch 6, which it shouldn't be, like I got to know. No, it should just work like in patch 5, patch 4, or some of those patches. So what is happening here? I actually can't tell you for sure. Maybe it's a psychological effect, so that the hotter temperatures before were now handled correctly by the drivers as they were adjusting their driving style. And now with their smoother driving style, they actually struggle to get the tires on temperature. And be sure the devs are testing all of that. And I also took a practice session I did before patch 6 on Silverstone with the Aston in preparation of the ESL event. and drove some laps on this very circuit with this very conditions and with this very setup to see if the tire temperatures are really different, are really cooler now than pre-patch 6. It turned out that I can't say they are after reviewing the telemetry of those both runs. The tires were a little bit cooler, yes, maybe 2-3 degrees. However, my lap times were also 1 second slower, as I'm very inconsistent at Silverstone, I have to say. And my practice a month ago there was quite a bit of work. So, what do I want to say you with that? Well, first of all, after getting customized to the changes of patch 6, I get used to it and it felt totally okay for me. You have to drive cleaner, you have to drive smoother, you maybe also have to drive a little bit slower, braking a little bit slower, or going on the throttle a little bit later. However, after 1 or 2 weeks it wasn't a problem to do exactly this. But now in patch 7, having back the old tire temperatures from pre-patch 6, the colder ones, makes up for some real problems. And I would not have thought this would happen. On some tracks in some situations, I really get problems to get heat into the tires. And this is, while being realistic for like hard tires, not okay for soft compound tires. They should always be on the limit to overheating. So to sum it all up and explain it for everybody, pre-patch 6 tires were a little on the cold side and could be abused quite hard without any penalty. Patch 6 brought us much hotter tires with much more tire wear. It was harder to handle at the beginning, however more rewarding and probably more realistic after some practice and after getting used to it. Now in patch 7 we have almost the same temperatures as before patch 6, and I have to say I'm really disappointed about that, but I'm sure the developers, Slightly Mad Studios, will make the right decisions for where the tire model and the tire heating model will be after all those changes. They will test everything on consoles and on PC, and I'm sure they will come up with a reasonable solution for everyone. So that's it. That was the second biggest, which might have ascended to the first biggest problem or topic with patch 7. So I made this update video. I thought it would be interesting and informative. So thank you very much for watching or for listening in this case, and see you next time. Bye bye.